What's up, YouTube? This is Blood Ink. My real name is Raymond. Um, this is gonna be really weird to talk about because I haven't really talked about it to actual people or to you guys, of course. I have gone through 20 years of my life thinking everything's okay. Trying to ignore negativity in my life, but in reality, it is impossible for me to. Um, what you guys don't know and what most of my friends don't even know is I suffer from a lot of mental illnesses, which is, it's terrible to say it like that, but some of these illnesses causes me to think the worst possible thoughts. For instance, I have ADHD, bipolar, separation anxiety disorder, depression, and PTSD. The one thing I'm going to talk about, like what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like vlogs as best as I can. I'm going to do some vlogs to where it explains one of these mental illnesses. Like for instance, right now, I'd like to talk to you about anxiety. Uh, like right now, I am anxious. Right now, I'm worrying about certain things to the point where it it's hurting me. It's truly hurting me, mentally, not physically, mentally. Um, the anxiety takes a toll on you, just a terrible toll on you. Right now, my anxiety is making me shake, making me worry too much. But alright, so the main thing with anxiety is it's not just about you're anxious about like a certain test or something around like a test or a speech. No, this is a different type of anxiety. This anxiety that I've got, it's called separation anxiety, which includes like I was adopted at a young age to the point where I still remember everything that happened at that point. I remember being adopted. I remember losing my actual family. I remember being taken away from my brothers. Like, it was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible beginning of my life. And it doesn't help when the rest of your life was just as terrible. I was abused since I was a kid, physically, mentally, and sexually. We're not going to go really into detail on that because it's still a major part in my life that bothers me. I'm just now starting to open up about that stuff. So hold your horses. You might actually get the full detail eventually. Um, when you have anxiety, your mind races to the point where you can't control your body as much. Like for instance, I shake, I worry too much, my brain races to the point where I can't think straight. And it doesn't help when you don't sleep. I haven't really slept well in the past few days. I'll sit there and I'll go to bed around 2 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 6. For no reason, I'll only have like maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep every day, which is god awful. It's tearing me apart to the point where I will wake up, feel exhausted like I haven't slept at all, and then go right back to sleep. I'm losing most of my life doing this because I can't sleep. Um, that's another thing with anxiety is sometimes you need a mental break. Like for instance, like you have to breathe in order to get through it, which it's terrible. Um, just recently, I ended up in a mental hospital trying to get myself mentally right again. To the point where I can create more videos for you guys, and that was a horrible time. That was like the hospital itself wasn't bad. It's what happened during the hospital or what happened after the hospital. Um, I had a complete anxiety attack, which is not a good thing. If you have an anxiety attack, you think the worst possible things, and then you'll start thinking horrible things for yourself, like the outcomes of your life or other things. Like it, I had certain thoughts in my head that I should have never had in my head to start with. And I didn't realize at that point I had actual support, which most of the time I don't really have support at all. And I know, guys, I know that this is a serious and depressing video, but this is something I have to get off my chest. This is something that I feel like you guys need to hear about in case you go through it yourself. The next video will be PTSD. And what I will be saying about PTSD is pretty serious too. Which I'll have to cover the bad things in my life in order to get to why PTSD is serious. Okay, so with anxiety, you just, everything bothers you. Like, for instance, like if someone texts you and they don't text you back within right there, your brain starts racing, your mind starts wondering, and everything in your head is wrong. Like, it's, anxiety sucks, guys. Throughout my life, I was the type of kid that likes to make people happy. I would listen to their thoughts, I would listen to their words, and I try to give them the outcome that I feel like it would be a great outcome. But instead, I don't take my own advice. With that being said, I'm a people pleaser. I like to keep people happy and whatever. And never really sat there and took the time to help myself. I never took the time to help myself, which is serious, guys. Like, when you're in a mental state like me, it's serious. You got to take care of your head. You have to take care of your thoughts. I was the type of kid that I would wear a fake smile in order to see people smile. But in reality, my head, my mental state was wrong. My mental state was just terrible, terrible things going through it. And I think that's what hurt me the most, because everybody thought I was a happy kid until they actually hung out with me and realized that this dude is just weird. He's not thinking straight. He's not right in the head. Or I grew up liking dark jokes. I don't know if that's part of anxiety or what, but I like dark things, like seriously dark things, which is scaring me. I ended up wearing black all the time. I was considered a scene kid in high school. I didn't have many friends. The ones that I did make friends with, oh, the ones that I did make friends with, they still didn't realize what I was going through. And I had to recently start opening up of why I am like I am, why I just don't care anymore, and why I've lost all interest in everything. And I told him, I was like, right now my anxiety is kicking in majorly. After 20 something years, it's finally like came to the surface to the point where there's no returning. Like, I just recently had something drastic in my life happen, and I can't go back. I can't change that event, which I wish I could. I lost everything that was dear to me. I lost everything that meant the world to me. And it was because of my anxiety. I was worrying too much, and I ended up becoming paranoid for it, which ended up causing the drastic event. And I was never able to really say sorry afterwards because of there was an event after that. In other words, guys, I had to move into a roommate's house, which you all know his name's the Shusher. I had to move into his house, and from that point on, I just went into a complete nutcase like phase. Like, I was going insane. I was thinking horrible thoughts. My mind was racing. It didn't help when all of my family was not there for me whenever I needed them. Instead, they were more or less thinking of themselves than trying to help someone who was really needing some mental help. While I was in the hospital, like, I know this is going to be a decently long video, but while I was in the hospital, I got back into poetry. I got back into art. Um, and I don't know. I got back into a lot of stuff I haven't done in years, and I realized that I was good at it. But in the process, I was talking to, in my mind, she is still my fiance. I know it's hard to get through life like this, but I was talking to her through there, and she actually helped me get through it. She helped me get through something major in my life. But it's I don't know. It's been rough. It's been rough. Um, I will keep you updated on this subject because anxiety it expands to the point where there's a lot more than what most people think. It's not just, hey, I got a big test. Oh God, I'm scared. I'm either gonna fail or pass. People with anxiety will always have a fear of failing. Always, always. When I first had my two kids, and I was living with my fiance at this time, in the back of my head, like let's put it this way, in reality, like life, in life itself, I was mentally failing. Like I felt like I was failing her, I was failing my kids, and I was failing everything. Like yes, she stood by my side every step of the way, but it's like she didn't know what was really going through my head. I felt like I was the worst father. Granted, yes, I changed the diapers. I fed them. I watched them grow up into the children that they are today. But it's the fact that I still feel like I am physically failing them because I'm not there with them. And I felt like I was failing her as a fiance because I did terrible things when I was with her. And I could easily sit there and blame I could easily blame my mental issues. But in the process, yes, I still messed up. I messed up. But it doesn't help when I feel like a failure. I feel like this, like, I don't know. I should have been back on medicine years ago. I should have. But I was too, my pride was the main thing that kept me off of it because I was like I don't want to feel like a zombie. I didn't want to feel like a nuisance. I don't know. I lost a lot of things because of my mental states, my mental issues, and I guess what I'm trying to say is if you feel like you have anxiety, go see a doctor. Go see a doctor like right now because if you do not, you will possibly lose a lot of things. Like I haven't really lost my kids, but I have lost the one that I love. I've lost my fiance, and right now she is currently with somebody else. And looking that on like social media doesn't help your anxiety at all. I felt like I failed her, and that's why she moved on. I mean, I felt like I was going to be a failure from the start of the relationship because I was already a mental case when I got with her. It didn't help me. Sorry, that was a notification on Facebook, but it didn't help when I was already a mental basket case when I got with her. It just wasn't as bad. It just was like at that point, like I didn't care about anything. I just wanted to be with her. And then my daughter was born, and I was always worried about those two constantly. And then my son was born, and then it just got it got worse. If I don't have any contact with either, like all three of them, I start worrying to the point where I get scared, I'll shake, and I need to take my medicine. So with that being said, guys, um, please leave a like down below, subscribe, hit that bell if you want to keep getting notifications, and more importantly, please leave a comment down below if you know anybody, or even if you have anxiety. If you do, leave a comment down below and I will reply with what I feel like you need to do. Because I've been through it for 24 years. It just started randomly getting bad all of a sudden. So, I mean, if y'all feel like y'all have anxiety, or if you feel like you need help with your mental issues and stuff, please just contact me. And this is not just going to be a gaming channel. This is something that I need to get through. But leave a comment down below and I'll study of what I could, and we'll go from there. I will reply with a video on what y'all commented on, and then we'll go from there. With that being said, guys, thank you for viewing my channel. Thank you for, the recent comments and the recent, everything. Thank you for the support that y'all have given me over the years. For those of you who are returning people, if y'all have returned to watch my videos, thank you. Just thank you. But alright, guys, this is the end of the video, and enjoy a wonderful Monday.